Scores, though, with 9. Rui Hachimura picking up the foul, his second personal. Dončić, 7 first quarter minutes, 2 of 3 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3. Third foul, actually, in Hachimura. So see how J.J. Redick substitutes for him or whether he keeps him on the floor.
KJ might make an adjustment here. I believe Luka was going to come in probably in about 2 or 3 minutes for Goodwin, most likely. But now the foul trouble with Hachimura might change how he utilizes Luka in this first half.
And this lineup with Hachimura at the 5 will be interesting to see how much of this we see. The Lakers made, as we mentioned at the top of the show, what they thought was another trade right before the deadline, and an important trade. Mark Williams, a center from the Charlotte Hornets, as Reeves banks it in. That trade got rescinded, so Dalton Connect, who was part of that deal, he's back tonight, and he got in late last night, so he's not going to play, but he's on the bench and expected to play minutes for the Lakers going forward. George has more on that.
Dave Leggs, our own Shams Charania, our NBA insider, is reporting the Charlotte Hornets have been in contact with the NBA as they explore options to dispute the Los Angeles Lakers' failed physical assessment of Mark Williams, sources tell ESPN. The Williams-Dalton Connect trade was next Saturday, as you guys just mentioned, and the Hornets are weighing avenues to challenge.
Interesting. We knew the Lakers were thin up front. We knew they were going to try to address it at the trading deadline. Thought they had. Now, obviously, everything's sort of in limbo. You see Dalton Connect sitting there. Was not going to play like J.J. Redick said. Didn't think it was fair to him to come back under these circumstances. Got in very late last night. So decided to let his head sort of gather itself as he watches this and figure out exactly what's going to happen with Connect going forward.
James looking to take Kessler off the bounce, falling away, connects again over one of the top shot blockers in the NBA. We've seen that twice in this game. James with 11 points already. Kick ball to stay with Utah.
Now LeBron getting into this fade game early. 3 of these already in the first half. He's hit, just gets to his spot, the one-legged lean back, and I think there's somebody in attendance named Dirk Nowitzki who probably can appreciate that one-legged fallback jumper very much.
Dirk started it, and everybody followed. It is interesting that Dirk Nowitzki is here at a Laker game supporting the Lakers, although really he's here supporting Luka Dončić, his former teammate. Dirk's career was ending in Dallas as Luka's was just getting started. Austin Reeves picking up the foul, his first, and the second on the Lakers. And Dirk's actually here with Luka's dad. They're sitting next to each other, a few rows behind us. Luns hits the first free throw. 3 of 3 from the floor, 10 points. There's Sasha, Luka's dad there in the sweater, and you can see Dirk there as well, left of your screen. Second free throw, no good. The putback off target, and James out of there with it, racing up the floor, but needs some help. Had to wait for his teammates to get set. Lakers by 14, 2 minutes gone by. Reeves driving, bumped. Will shoot 2 with Collins picking up the foul.
One of the benefits of this will be for Austin Reeves in that he now will get a lot of times when, particularly when they're playing together, and Luka eventually he's going to check back into the game. We'll probably see some more minutes with the 3 of them out there together. He now can benefit at times from the 3rd best perimeter defender being on him for stretches. And he's got a handle. He draws fouls. And so that's going to be something that he is going to welcome, that he doesn't have to necessarily get that second level guy that can get up in him as the Lakers' only other ball handler prior to Luka's arrival.
Austin Reeves, 4 of 4 at the line tonight, and 44 for his last 45 at the free throw line.
And that's only in a 4+ less than a half game. So he's getting there almost 10 times a night in this stretch and converting every time.
That's the part of his game that probably not enough people talk about. It's just how good he is at finding driving lanes, getting to the basket, and ultimately getting to the free throw line. James, long three. Pinballs up to Hachimura. And the 15-foot putback off the heel. Collins to a good one as he was falling down. Trying to hit his teammate Collier, instead turned it over and it led to an easy basket.
Got just a tough break for Collins. Lost his balance as he was going to the ground after they clearly had secured the rebound. Ends up with two easy ones for the Lakers.
Goodwin lost his mask. Wearing a mask to protect the facial injury. Take it off there, so playing without it. James, no look down court. Hachimura lost it. Now Collier ahead of the pack. Goes in for the easy layup. 11 points for Utah off of Laker turnovers. Collier was Bronny James's teammate at USC last year. Bronny out tonight. Goodwin in the lane with a push shot.
Jazz have this unique mixture of veteran players along with a bunch of young guys that they're trying to develop. And Bill Hardy was just raving about Isaiah Collier and the way he has played over the last month.
And really grown in terms of his decision making. Made good pass there. Johnny Juzang, who played collegiately here for growing up in LA, played for UCLA. He missed the three. Finney Smith, no good. The second chance opportunity. And Reeves got shoved as he was trying to fight through a double team. Luka talking with Justin Van Dyne. Foul should have been called earlier. So they're going to stagger James and Dončić minutes here. LeBron was out there for about 6 minutes without Dončić, and now Luka will play without LeBron.
Well, you think about the way this is going to break down. The start of the game is going to be 6-7 minutes together. The start of the second half will be 6-7 minutes together. And the end of the game, on most nights, depending on the score, will be the last 6-7 minutes. That's 20 minutes roughly together right there. And now Redick has the luxury of staggering these guys and making sure you always have someone that can set the table for everybody on the floor.
Juzang picked up the foul his second. We asked J.J. Redick, who played with Luka Dončić 4 years ago for about 20 games in Dallas, where have you seen Luka grow the most? He said everywhere, but when he's willing, he's been a much better defender than he was early on in his career. One ball from Hachimura is good to beat the shot clock buzzer.
I think Luka Dončić is the best in this league at the late line. After he's exhausted opportunities on a drive at the rim, his ability to then pick you apart from that position under the basket is really unique, and you saw Hachimura benefit from that right there.
2 assists for Dončić to go with 5 points in his first ever game as a Laker. Now we got a Jackson Hayes foul. 2 on him.
He gets the switch, so he's going to go downhill against Markkanen, and you see him jump in the air, but realizes he's defended well, and that's the great thing about the vision, the size, and the strength. His ability to get the ball to the weak side of the floor at any angle to let weak side shooters spot up and still do damage late in the clock.
Didn't make All-NBA his rookie year, but since 5 consecutive first-team All-NBA selections for Luka Dončić, won't be eligible for the awards even if he plays every game the rest of the way. This too many games won't hit that 65-game mark. Dončić on the slip through the three. And cleared by Collins. Pass from Collier went through the legs of Collins. Here's Hachimura in transition. He's by Markkanen. First on Markkanen, and the 14th foul on Utah. The lead is 21 for the Lakers midway through the second quarter.
With a Jared Vanderbilt autographed basketball, a Rui Hachimura signed hat, or an Austin Reeves autographed basketball. So Lakers fans, don't miss out on your chance to take home a piece of Lakers history, help out the Lakers Youth Foundation, and receive a tax deduction. Visit the booth on the main concourse across from aisle 12 to place your bid.
Utah is calling timeout to challenge the ruling of a defensive foul assessed to Markkanen. The challenge within the 30-second window, since this is a mandatory timeout.
In the Paint Night, a celebration of art, culture, and Los Angeles. For 4 seasons, the Lakers have worked to better the city by uplifting LA artists of color through exposure and funding. As a multi-year competitive arts program, the Lakers have recognized more than 75 local creatives by showcasing their artwork and stories, purchasing works to diversify the look and feel of the Lakers UCLA Health Training Center, and providing $400,000 in grants to help further individuals' artistic endeavors. Be sure to stay in your seats during halftime as we recognize 10 amazing artists for this year's In the Paint program.
Big month for us. I think that's no.
Utah is challenging the last call on the court.
Represent my family, my culture, and an American family. It means everything.
No matter your race, no matter where you're from, no matter your color, we should all share positivity, share great light. Love will always be there.
After he
Successful or not?
After review, marketing gets to a legal spot and jumps vertically. Therefore, there is no foul on the play. The challenge is successful. At the time of the whistle, Utah had imminent possession of the ball. Therefore, it'll be their ball on the sideline with 24 seconds on the shot clock. Since this is a mandatory timeout, the Lakers are still charged with the timeout.
So successful challenge for Will Hardy, who's an excellent young coach. And obviously Utah is going through a rebuilding phase. And it seems like the brain trust of the Utah Jazz feels very good about Will Hardy leading that next chapter in Jazz history once they get through this rough patch.
One of the bright young minds in the game. And he's in a tough position right now, as any coach would be with a franchise in the NBA that's clearly in rebuild. But Will Hardy is hopefully going to be that guy for them once they get past that point and they get to the other side of this rebuild, which they're playing the long game right now for sure. A lot of picks over the next 7 years, 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years. This is the option they're going to take, and Will Hardy could be the guy to lead it.
So Dončić does the Dirk with Dirk in attendance after LeBron just did it a couple of minutes ago. That 1 foot fadeaway. Dončić now with 7 points. Juzang's 3 no good. Lead is 21 for LA. Now on the switch, Dončić fires to Finney Smith. They were teammates for a few years in Dallas. Hachimura driving and finishing on glass.
So all the space that was available on the weak side, that's all because of Luka's presence. Operating ball screen on the left side of the court. 3 players shift to that side, gets it to the other side quickly, and then there's opportunities for Hachimura to find a driving lane.
I mean, obviously we know Luka Dončić is a brilliant scorer, but his IQ, teamed with the incredible basketball IQ we've seen over 22 years of LeBron James. Here's Dončić for 3. It's so rare to have a tandem like that together. Has LeBron played with anybody, with all the great legendary teammates he's played with, that's similar to Luka?
He's had great teammates, Hall of Famers, but really more as complementary players to him. This is a little bit of a different situation because of the style of game and the ball usage for Luka Dončić.
Hachimura trying to put it on the deck and get past Clarkson. And a foul called on the Jazz. 4th team foul.
And one of the great luxuries will be late game situations. And I think how fresh LeBron and Luka both could be because of some of that responsibility over the first 44, 45 minutes of the game being shared a little bit more equally. Certainly Luka didn't have that luxury in Dallas at any time. And now they can play off each other. You see Luka again with a nice burst on the receive, getting to the other side of the rim.
That's 9 points now for Dončić. And you look at the timing of this move. The Lakers are right in the thick of things in the West. They're tied for third in the loss column, and they're 18-7 in the last 25 games. Best record during that stretch. A lot of people curious if they can compete this year. Dončić with the jab step now fires. Can't drill the three. He's 1 for 5 from deep.
And he could be streaky from the three-point line as it is after this long layoff. I think that'll be the last thing to come for Luka, the consistency from out there.
Hachimura, but not a smart foul. That is 4 on him. He'll have to go to the bench, you would imagine, for the remainder of the half. So again, you look at the loss column, they're tied with Denver for third, just 2 games out of the 2 spot. And look, Oklahoma City's a great team, but we haven't seen them advance beyond the second round of the playoffs with a very young group.
No doubt. It does feel different this year, and their offseason acquisitions in Oklahoma City just give them so much more size and depth, and their defense is elite. So right now, they're still the standard, I think, in the Western Conference. But you're right, this changes, I think, the feel around the Lakers and the potential upside of a deep postseason run.
Dončić with the Mavs beat Oklahoma City last year in the conference semis, as Luka led, along with Kyrie Irving, Dallas to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2011 when they won the championship and beat LeBron James and the Miami Heat. So Dončić and James on the floor together here, likely to close out the first half. Dončić puts it on the floor, leans in, gives it up to Vincent. Shot clock at 3. James returns it. Vincent, the 3 ball. That is the 7th triple for the Lakers.
What a find by LeBron. Goes down the left side of the lane, knowing Vincent was all the way over on the right wing.
Clark's it inside now. Hayes rebounds. Quick outlet, James. Looking to push. Finney Smith fouled by Markkanen and will put Utah over the limit, and Finney Smith will go to the line. Lakers up 21 late in the first half. Luka with 9. James with 11.
Lakers fans, come out Saturday, February 22nd for a Lakers watch party presented by Michelob Ultra at Cocoa Beach Sports Bar and Grill in Marina Del Rey starting at 5 p.m. You'll get the chance to win prizes and take a photo with the championship trophy. For more information, visit Lakers.com.
LA is such a big art city and so much crossover between people who are creative and artists and people who are passionate about the Lakers.
Los Angeles is multicultural, multicultural. It opened up everybody's mind to look at who we are, go beyond our color scheme. That's the beauty of Los Angeles.
I want to communicate my roots, my culture, my home. So I love when people see my art and they're like, "This feels home to me. I could feel identified with what you paint."
I want you to feel whatever makes you feel makes me happy.
I use art as a form of expression. It's kind of like I'm making someone that can have the conversation that I want to have.
Most of my work are always based on like letters that talk about missing a parent, not being able to grow up, especially with a father figure.
Art is a big reflection of society. I feel like whatever's going on in the world, it will show itself in art somehow, in some way.
I think it's an evident part of kind of what it means to be human. It's definitely a crucial part of just the human experience.
You can't find a lot of big brands that support the arts. Sometimes we need to be pulled up and to know that we are being seen.
It shows that this association really cares about the culture and cares about supporting the people out of Los Angeles and really giving them a voice.
NBA Wednesday is a doubleheader starting with Boston and San Antonio at 7 Eastern time. Then Luka's former team, the Dallas Mavericks, facing the Golden State Warriors. NBA Countdown tips us off at 6:30 Eastern. Anthony Davis got off to a great start, had a huge night for Dallas yesterday. 2 days ago before the injury. Looking at LeBron's teammates through the years, won 2 championships in Miami with Dwayne Wade, went to the finals 4 consecutive years, won a title with Kyrie Irving, obviously made it to a couple other finals, losing to Golden State. Anthony Davis, they won a championship at the bubble. And now, Luka Dončić. Night 1 of a new era in Los Angeles.
3 great players that you just listed. And Dwayne Wade, in fact, a finals MVP and a champion prior to LeBron's arrival in Miami. But there was never a doubt with all of those guys, paired with LeBron, who was in control. LeBron was in control of everything they did offensively. And Luka obviously has been that his entire career. That's why this pairing is so unique in so many ways, because of their ability to beat you as scorers, as primary ball handlers, or as guys that can pick you apart from all over the floor.
George has more.
Dave, Legs, I covered those Heatles teams every night, road and home. Legs, I will say this. We do remember there was that tough start. Remember, they were 9-8 to start that season, and it felt like those guys were taking turns. Now, after that, they went 21-22, but it really wasn't until that offseason after they lost to Dallas that Dwayne and LeBron had an infamous trip to the Bahamas where they talked about if they were going to succeed and reach their goals, it needed to be LeBron's team. But that first year was not as easy as I think some people may remember kind of now at this stage, 15 years later.
And what's so unique about this situation, Wade and LeBron and Bosh, they were contemporaries. Think about this. Luka Dončić is 15 years younger than LeBron James. You've got a guy still playing at an incredible level at his age, but how much longer can LeBron possibly go? So what does that mean for the final stages of his career, now playing with a new superstar?
So significant that they overlap here. You're talking about the greatest player of the last 2 decades, now paired with a guy that potentially is going to be one of the greatest players of the next decade for the Lakers. So it is really unprecedented. As I said at the start, guys of Luka Dončic's ability just don't become available at this stage of their careers.
But such a buzz, even on Saturday when there was talk that maybe Dončić would play but sat out. The entire city has been anticipating this very night. And it was packed about an hour before the game. Everybody watching Luka warm up. James has it knocked away by Collins. Markkanen in transition, lobs it up there for Kessler.
A couple of 7-footers getting out of the open floor for Utah and connecting on that lob.
Finney Smith driving, gets it back, and scores off the window. Lakers currently 12 games above 500. The last time they were 13 over 500 was 2021, 4 years since they were this good, as James trying to get out and Clarkson gives up a 3.
Lakers go to a little zone look right there and just didn't really have the back line defenders spread enough. Too much space in the corner, give up the open 3.
Dončić leans in, foul, it won't fall, but Luka will go to the line for his first free throws as a Laker. Clarkson picks up his second foul. Dončić, the scoring champ a year ago at 34 points per game. His career scoring average is 29. That's 3rd all-time behind Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. Only Michael Jordan has scored more points per game in NBA playoff history. Dončić, historically, in 50 career playoff games, has been even better in the postseason than the regular season. Shooting for the perfect gift this Valentine's Day. Give 12 months of live games with League Pass, now 30% off through February 16th.
I think that George's point earlier, too, which was really good, the beginning here. Now, tonight doesn't look like we're headed there. We'll see what Utah can muster in the second half. But I thought Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, when they first got paired, when you saw some issues early, they were overly deferential to each other in a lot of ways. And that is something that a guy like Luka Dončić is going to feel a little bit playing alongside a presence like LeBron.
Markkanen's 3, not there. Dončić fires down court to James in stride. It rolls around and drops. What a look. And Luka to LeBron. 13 points for James, 3 assists for Dončić.
That's a two-hand chest pass that traveled roughly 70 plus feet in the air on a rope and put it in the only place LeBron could get that.
69 first half points for the Lakers. Clarkson won't fall from deep, batted around. Out of bounds off the Jazz. A 4-second difference in the game and shot clocks.
Yeah, Luka turns immediately, see his eyes look up the floor, and then this is put perfectly to the right side of the lane where LeBron was cutting and just past the outstretched arm of the defender.
Dončić on the switch has Walker Kessler on him. Luka penetrates, puts it up, missed the shot. Uh-oh. Tracking it down is Reeves. 4 seconds to go in the half. 72 points for LA in the first half. Lakers shoot 60% from the floor on a night that 9 days ago would have seemed unfathomable. But here we are. Luka Dončić is indeed a Laker. He scores 11 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds in his first half with his new teammate LeBron James. Stay tuned for halftime presented by Hyundai with Malika Chine and Udonis Haslam. After these messages, James and Dončić combined for 24 points. The Lakers put up 72 as a team, and they lead by 25 at halftime.
Hey, Lakers fans, the Lakers $4 this season. For every Lakers dunk, Globe Life will donate $50 to a local nonprofit charity. Check out the scoreboard now for the current total. Join the Lakers and Globe Life as we root for dunks all season long. Go Lakers! Ladies and gentlemen, the Lakers organization is back for season 4 of In the Paint. This year, 10 artists of color were selected by a panel of esteemed judges. Their work is being showcased at the annual Lakers In the Paint art exhibition. They are receiving a $10,000 grant to further enhance their artistic careers. The In the Paint program is made possible with support from Lakers sponsors BBGO, Six, MGM Rewards, Pro Baller, Coffee. Here with us tonight to present these 10 exceptional local artists is Keisha Nix, Vice President of the Lakers Youth Foundation. Please join me in celebrating our Season 4 In the Paint grantees. Abby is 7. Abby's art is inspired by her culture, her roots, and nature's vibrant colors and textures. Abby was raised by her grandmother in Mexico. Painting nature brings her closer to her grandmother. Estefania Axis. Estefania's art explores the absence and yearning caused by her father's immigration from Guatemala to the U.S. Her journey as an artist has evolved through the years, inspired by the different artists she meets during shows. Jessica Taylor Bellamy. Jessica is a second-generation Angelino from Whittier and is a USC alum. She is obsessed with being outside, which is the inspiration for her art. Daryl Cumby. Daryl is inspired to break down the barriers that artists of face. He wants to see more artists of color shine with their craft. Derek Edwards. Derek has a passion for drawing and painting human figures. He uses his art as a vehicle for analysis of his past and family relationships to discover how they affect him currently. Not in attendance tonight is Megan Gabrielle Harris. Megan was inspired by her father, who is also an artist, followed in his footsteps to emulate his style. Her parents gave her an environment in which she could express herself freely, and for that, she is grateful. Marlon Ivory. Marlon began his journey as a self-taught artist at the age of 15 with just a piece of paper and a pencil. At the age of 32, he discovered photography and has been captivated by it ever since. Larry Lee. When Larry moved to Los Angeles, that is when he decided to become an artist. Larry met the love of his life in LA, and they now share a son. Los Angeles will always be special to Larry. Anne Pham. Anne escaped the Vietnamese communist regime by boat in 1981 and came to the United States. She expresses her life's appreciation through her art, and in her creative process, she likes to look back at her journey on this earth. And lastly, Michael Vacoy Tran. Michael's art practice, centered on his asexual identity and Vietnamese heritage, explores themes uncommonly depicted in art, like post-war Vietnamese experiences. Lakers fans, please give these artists a round of applause for our 2025 In the Paint grantees.
Three games of Hoops on a Sunday. We got top five right here on NBA.com. At number 5, finishing the first quarter in style, it's Kyle as he catches the inbound and gets that one to go down. The Bucks getting in at number 5. Moving along to number 4, and who knew it was Hate the Buzzer Day in Milwaukee? They're doing it again. This time, Gary Trent knocking down the 3 as the Bucks moving it around the floor at number 4 to get in again. Up to number 3 and off a miss. Jock Landale shepherds the rebound and throws it down. Jock goes up and gets the rock to get the crunch home at the throne at number 3, up to number 2. And Jalen Duren ensuring that Motown wins today as Jalen impaling there on the alley-oop at number 2. But at number 1, the Houston highlight machine known as Jalen Green getting obscene. Look at Jalen having a Super Bowl Sunday as he goes up and throws that one down to land. At number 1 on the NBA.com. Come on.
Let me jump. No, I'm kidding. Get a friend. Come on, me and you, jump it. Me and Fox. Come here. Hey, throw it this way. Oh! I'm Fox, look at me, I'm Fox. Oh, we're heating up. Oh, who's that kid? What's the game, man? Thank you. I can jump that high. Ooh. Ah! Yeah, Luka. I like it. Shoot it. You don't shoot no Chris no more. Woo! Welcome you
you to the NBA All-Star Game. It's taking over. Yes, here comes Durant down the lane. Out there, good. Back the other way. To Jokic. Look at that pass. Oh.
Nah. Man, first time I touched the ball, back at this house, I had basketballs all over the place. I was, starting to really try to dribble and things of that nature. Because I still actually have the ball framed up. It's Keontae's first ball. Ball running the family, to be honest. My dad, mom, brother, sister, we all play basketball. So the continuous support keeps me going. Knowing that I got a great support system behind me. Mom, my dad, family, everybody at the table that was with me, all my family that was in the stands. I just want to thank everybody for the amount of sacrifices that y'all made. Every emotion kind of just came out, tears, tears of joy, you understand how much work you put in this process, this long process. Man, I'm really in the NBA.
Welcome to San Francisco NBA All-Star. Get ready for a stunning entertaining game on. Stephen Curry is a 50. Let's get it all on. Incredible how long we have been watching this level of greatness out of LeBron James. What you are watching, because we are not going to see it. Year 22, age 40, just amazing to be able to do this at this age. The thing that I love more than anything else, first ballot Hall of Fame. You're going to find it all. There's not much history left to chase for LeBron James. He's done it all. Again, this one's he's got one more than MJ. Most All-NBA selection, most points scored in NBA history, most minutes played, 20-point games, 1,000-point seasons. LeBron James in his 22nd year, he's at the top of the list. I don't care whose soapbox you're on, just enjoy that, and he will. LeBron You say it turned back the clock night, but I wonder if the clock ever went forward for James. It feels like it stopped.
to NBA Monday, presented by State Farm. Luka Dončić's Laker debut, a success through one half, 72 points. And they lead the Utah Jazz by 25. Dave Pash, Tim Legler. We'll check in with George Sedano here in a little bit. For Luka Dončić, really, the expectations were to be great, and he was pretty darn good. Given that this is his first game in 6 weeks, we forget he's coming off of an injury as we look at Crunch Time, brought to you by Popeyes.
Yeah, fairly seamless, and he has the LA vibe going right there coming in. You know, he had that rocking. Incredible reception at the start, as you would expect. The electricity in this building for a half hour before the game was incredible, and then came out and showed you what he's capable of. Gets to that first three, and then little work in the post, the vision, the ability to deliver the ball. LeBron James benefiting. There's going to be some rough patches as they sort through this, but I think all things considered, pretty good start to the new era for the Lakers.
Dončić, 11 points, 3 assists. He was 1 of 5 from 3. James, 6 of 8. Very efficient again, 13 points. George has more.
Dave Legs, LeBron James was adamant in the huddle to Luka Dončić before the game. He said, Luka, be you. Don't fit in. Fit the bleep out is what he said. Be yourself. And we've certainly seen that today. So no one trying to be deferential out here, Dave. Everyone's trying to get their own game going.
And there were so many people as Dončić throws another lob to Jackson Hayes. So many people were curious how it would look with the two on the floor together. Did it meet your expectation, Legs, of what you thought?
No, I think it did, but you're talking about, barely scratching the surface of what this ultimately could be. I was thinking, Luka has this ability as a raw scorer to just completely take over games. It was difficult in Dallas at times because he also had to set the table for everybody else. Here, he has another guy that can do that when he goes into scoring mode.
Dončić hurt his calf on Christmas Day as a member of the Dallas Mavericks, and he had missed the first 3 games that since the trade from the Mavs to the Lakers due to that calf injury. On a minutes restriction, so to speak, going to play about 30 minutes tonight. Dunk from Hayes, that time blocked by LeBron, but Luka started that one with the hockey assist.
The opportunities for Jackson Hayes are just going to be significantly easier. Just run the floor, and now you have 2 different options handling the ball to hit you from either side. That's how they both touched it on that break.
Dyer's 3 no good, batted out to James. LeBron looking to run, going downhill, attacking Markkanen. Nice recovery as Markkanen gets the swat. An all-star and the most improved player in the NBA 2 years ago. Dončić commits a foul. His second person. 8 days ago, Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka, who had behind the scenes been talking, shocked the sports world. One of the most surprising and consequential trades, not just in NBA history, but American sports history, behind closed doors, unbeknownst to just about everybody, including seemingly Danny Ainge and the Utah Jazz. There were reports that even though the Jazz were part of the trade, that they actually didn't know the pieces that were involved in terms of the big names as Dončić scores and won. And here we are. It's finally reality. Luka's first game as a Laker. He's got 13 and a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, this is what we always talk about with Luka. The deceleration as you get deep into the paint. You guys are as patient as he is, and he's got the size and strength to then play through contact, but he doesn't really release the ball around the rim until he is absolutely ready.
And just as he's getting healthy, his former team is starting to deal with injuries. We mentioned Anthony Davis in his first game as a Maverick was brilliant until he went down with an adductor injury, expected to miss several weeks. Tonight, Daniel Gafford injured and did not return to the game after suffering a leg injury. Derek Lively is out as well, so the Mavs dealing with all kinds of injuries as Markkanen connects from mid-range. We'll see the Mavs on Wednesday night. They'll take on Golden State. They're in the play-in right now. The Lakers are currently tied for 3rd in the West. They've been in the play in the last 2 years, but they're 4 games removed from that right now. Collier, nice speed, and the slam from Kessler.
Saw the burst there by Collier. This is what they really like about him, his ability to make plays off the dribble. You see the find at the rim. His natural instincts for facilitating are something that Will Hardy was really pleased with.
Dončić couldn't make that as he was falling towards the baseline. Trying to finish through contact. Pull-up three from Clarkson, the former Laker, who was a member of the first-team All-Rookie squad when he was here in L.A. back in 2015. Clarkson has 11 points tonight. Former sixth man of the year with Utah back in 2021. Lakers play one more game before the break in Utah on Wednesday as Markkanen scores. And then out of the All-Star break, the Lakers will take on the Hornets. They're at 31-19 right now. James for three. LeBron James with 16 points.
Effortless getting up into that shot for LeBron. You knew that was good as soon as you let it go. It just has perfect rotation and arc on that shot.
He's 13 for his last 23 from behind the arc.
Yeah, he's more comfortable with this shot than he's ever been throughout his career. Comes up, rejects the screen by Jackson Hayes, and just decides to go ahead and operate with enough space, knowing he can get that off, clearly feeling in the rhythm. 6 for 9 now from the field. 7 for 10 make that with that shot.
His last game, Legs had a season high 42 points against the Warriors, becoming the oldest player, 40 years old. Michael Jordan was about a month younger when he did it at 40 years of age. The oldest player to get 40. LeBron happens also to be the youngest player ever to get 40 points. Did it late in his rookie season back in March of 2004. Plenty of 40-point games in between as well, we should add for James. That pass broken up. And the fourth turnover by LeBron, and then he commits a foul.
And to your point, I mean, the way he looks, there's no telling how much longer LeBron's going to play. It's only going to be up to him. As good as he looks, as dominant, as athletic. But now you have the situation where this trade was made not only to take into consideration the rest of LeBron James' career, however long that is, it's the next decade potentially for the Lakers. And that was something they were organizationally wondering about. What was going to be the next iteration of the LA Lakers after LeBron James retired?
James keeps looking at his left hand. And so there was some blood on his left thumb. So while we have a moment, let's remind you about our upcoming national TV schedule. On TNT tomorrow night, the Knicks, third in the East, are at the Pacers. Memphis is in Phoenix. The Grizzlies currently are 2 games ahead of Denver and the Lakers for the number 2 spot in the West. TNT Thursday, the Thunder, the best record in the West at 42-9, taking on Minnesota. For more, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Jake Gilgeous-Alexander, right now the front runner for MVP. 30 games left in the regular season. We are 2 months away from the playoffs, just a few days away from the All-Star break. LeBron James this weekend in San Francisco will play an NBA record 21st All-Star game. Offensive foul on Utah.
Luka, that time takes this elbow right there, right to the nose. Then Conley are trying to swing through and split that gap there between 2 defenders, and Luka takes the worst for that.
Second foul on Isaiah Collier. Dončić finds James. Hachimura corner 3. That's good. Hachimura with his second 3. 85-56 LA. Lakers trying to win their 6th straight, 10 out of 11. Air ball from Clarkson. Dončić quickly ahead, but the deflection, it still gets to LeBron. Downhill, scoop and score with the left off the window.
Markkanen got him once on a semi-breakaway. That time LeBron crafty with the left hand.
18 for James. He averages about 25 per game. Dončić trying to hang with Markkanen. LeBron comes over for the double, gets the deflection, forces a turnover. James again. And a foul on Collier, his third. James will shoot 2 when we come back. It'll be his first free throws of the night. James with 18 points.
How long people watching this? LeBron James out in the open floor. Nobody It's going to stop this man from getting to the rim whenever he wants.
Laker fans, it is time to get up and bust a move for the BB Go Dance Cam. Let's see those moves because you can win a $100 BB Go gift card. Let's dance. Let's BB Go, go, go.
Outfits ridiculous. In the club looking so conspicuous. In front of these women all on the prowl. If you hold the head steady, I'ma milk the cow. And forget about game, I'ma spit the truth. I won't stop till I get them in their birthday too. Give me the rhythm and it'll be off with their clothes. Then bend over to the front and touch your toes. Welcome back to LA. The Lakers up big here in the third quarter. We all know that the LA wildfires have displaced so many families and so many businesses are no longer erect at the moment. And Luka Dončić, who just arrived here in Los Angeles, has put out a press release today acknowledging that his foundation will be donating $500,000 for the immediate recovery for the LA wildfires. And he's committed to helping rebuild courts, playgrounds, and fields that were destroyed during those wildfires to have kids get back on those fields and those courts. He signed it by saying, to everyone affected by these fires, we're here to help now and for the long haul. Your new neighbor, Luka. Dave?
Yeah, I love that new neighbor. And no surprise, Luka was very involved in the Dallas community. A big reason why there's so much backlash there, not just because he's a great player, but also his involvement in the DFW area. James 3 is off the mark. Hachimura there with a putback.
Yeah, I think with Luka, it was obviously the production on the court. It was also the entertainment value, right? The entertainment factor. Every night that you watched it, and then in addition, everything he was doing in the community. No wonder why people in Dallas are hurting over losing a star player that seemingly was just getting ready to start his prime years.
If you're a Maverick fan, and many of them are upset right now about the trade, now you don't have Anthony Davis. You've got other injuries. How concerned are you? Because all the talk there is they felt they could make a run at an NBA title this year. And that's why they made the deal as Markkanen gets the dunk in transition.
Yeah, listen, that's going to be difficult. They're going to, depending on how long this lasts, how big a hole they find themselves in the Western Conference to come from those slots where Dallas is probably going to find themselves. Very difficult uphill battle in the postseason.
Great point for Clarkson. His third triple, he's got 14 points.
There's still an awful lot of talent in Dallas. And Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, you added Klay Thompson. You've got role players. You've got some guys that went to the finals a year ago on that roster. But, you know, what Luka Dončić represents is just so unique and so special.
Dončić for three. Luka 1 for 6 from three. He's got 14 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Kyrie Irving just named an all-star replacement for Anthony Davis, by the way.
The more I think about it with the Lakers, what's going to be fascinating at times is just to watch the dynamic where Luka gets into these scoring runs, and he doesn't have to worry as much about setting the table for other people at that point. That's going to be fascinating. He never had that luxury in Dallas.
Good job on the glass that time by Kessler, working hard and finishing. Third year out of Auburn, career high. Points and rebounds, and second in the NBA in blocks for the second straight year. 9-0 Utah run.
And you see the Lakers running a lot of two-man action with two ball handlers setting screens for each other to get switches where they can just attack.
And that's your 5-man right now. Rui Hachimura as the Lakers go small, hitting another three.
And I think you'll see a lot of that out of the Lakers, particularly since they didn't get an additional center at the deadline. You're going to see Jackson Hayes starting, but you're going to see this smaller lineup, I think, a lot defensively and potentially to close games because how difficult it is to match up with this on this end of the floor.
But as George mentioned earlier, talking about that Shams report, maybe more to come with the Mark Williams trade that was rescinded. Williams back in Charlotte, Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish back with the Lakers.
A lot more information to come on that because it's clearly Charlotte was surprised by Mark Williams coming out here and failing that physical. The Lakers probably surprised as well. So there's more coming there, and it's obviously more now to come from Dalton Connect. You got to see what exactly his situation will be going forward. Was playing well for a rookie, was clearly became one of the crowd favorites here, and now he finds himself in a pretty awkward situation.
Dončić, his 24th minute, supposed to play about 30, couldn't bank that one in. Again, his first game in 6 weeks. Not played since Christmas due to a calf injury. That's why he did not make his Laker debut until tonight. Was listed as questionable originally on the injury report. Upgraded to probable this morning. Foul here in Jackson Hayes. 3 on him. 4 on the Lakers.
And you know, Dave, you mentioned like the smaller lineups defensively. That benefits Luka Dončić because there are going to be matchups you can find for him, particularly at the 3 or the 4 spot, where maybe he is guarding someone that's not as apt to try to take him off the dribble or use their quickness against him. That is a benefit for the Lakers to play small. You've got guys like Dorian Finney-Smith. You've got Rui Hachimura. You got LeBron. You've got some guys with great reach and strength. So if you want to go small, I think it's an option for J.J. Redick defensively.
And it's interesting you say that. You know J.J. well, so do I, from working with him all these, well, not all these years, a few years at ESPN. But one of the things J.J. loves is problem solving. That's one of the reasons he took the coaching job to continue to challenge himself in that thing that he loves so much about solving problems. Well, it's a good problem when you're trying to figure out how to make these lineups work with 2 future Hall of Famers. Luka's 3 not there. He's 1 for 7 from behind the arc. 14 points still. Clarkson not shot. Gets the offensive rebound, but then goes out of bounds to a line. It is a challenge, though, for a rookie coach to try to figure that all out as Dončić will sit. Played 9 minutes here in this third quarter.
Yeah, J.J. Redick's dining room table, the salt and pepper shakers are never safe when he's sitting down. The number of things he's going to use to draw up plays while he's eating dinner. That's just the way J.J.'s mind is. And when you put this many weapons at his disposal, that creativity is really going to come out the longer they're together.
Finney-Smith for 3. Short. Rebound sensible. Wonder at this stage, with it being a 24-point game, do we even see James and Dončić again? Marking misses. Obviously, you want to get Luka back in the swing of playing. 5-on-5 NBA basketball, but got the All-Star break coming up. Game Wednesday. Salt Lake, we'll see if Luka's night is over. 24 minutes, 14 points. Big lead for the Lakers late in the third.
Utah has called timeout to challenge the ruling of a defensive foul on the play.
All right, Lakers fans, it is time for Shoot or Pass presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. And I'm here with tonight's contestants, Ben and Naraz. And we're going to start by asking Naraz a question. If he gets it right, he's going to have to make a decision. Do a free throw or pass that shot over to Ben. Naraz, ready? All right, here is our trivia question. Name this Hall of Famer who won an NBA championship and was a 5-time All-Star as a Laker who played his final 3 seasons as a member of the New Orleans Jazz.
Goodrich.
Let's see, Gail Goodrich. You got it right. All right. Okay. What are you going to do? Shoot or pass?
Shoot it.
All right, Lakers fans. Raz is going to shoot it. Let's cheer him on. Oh, Naraz, so sorry. But hey, Ben, congratulations. That means you have won a Pechanga Resort Getaway package with a $100 resort credit and 1-night stay courtesy of Pechanga. Thanks so much, everyone, for playing. Shoot or pass.
After review, although Sensabaugh does initially hit the ball, he comes off.
Let's look at just some of the most significant trades in Los Angeles sports history. Obviously, you start with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and what he ended up doing with the Lakers. Wayne Gretzky, after winning 4 Stanley Cups, goes from Edmonton to the Kings. They go to a Stanley Cup. Mookie Betts comes to the Dodgers. They win 2 World Series. At the time, people didn't think much of the Goff-Stafford trade, but then Matthew Stafford, after Goff got them to a Super Bowl, Stafford gets them a ring. And now you got Luka Dončić making his Laker debut tonight in 24 minutes, 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists.
You know, the expectations for the Lakers, I think, coming in the Western Conference, I don't think people were considering them to be a contender coming into the season. When you looked at the landscape at the top of the Western Conference, started playing really good basketball prior to the trade. They continued it through the trade, 9 out of their last 10, and now you add Luka to the mix. If they look at the West now, and I think they believe they might be able to put a product on the floor that's so unique and so different with their ability to attack defenses that they can make a significant run this year.
With a win tonight, they'd be 32-19, 13 games over 500 for the first time in 4 years. Keontae George at the line shooting 2. By the way, there was a foul in Sensabaugh in Utah that was challenged by Will Hardy. It was an unsuccessful challenge. That's why you saw the Lakers shooting free throws a moment ago. Take a look at our doubleheader for you on Wednesday here on ESPN. Boston, which currently has the 2nd best record in the East, taking on San Antonio. It was a huge night for Victor Wembanyama. You can see all the highlights on SportsCenter. Then you got the Warriors. They won again tonight, so far so good with Jimmy Butler. We already touched down the struggles of Dallas with a loss tonight, but also the injuries, Anthony Davis included, Daniel Gafford going down. SportsCenter will have more on that as well. There are 2 minutes to go here in the third, 24-point lead for the Lakers. Here's James, spot up 3. So good. James, 19 points. Out of bounds to Utah.
Saw Jared Vanderbilt working on the glass right there. And, with Anthony Davis leaving, Jared Vanderbilt actually becomes their second leading rebounder behind LeBron James, and he only plays 15 minutes a night. His rebounds per minute numbers.
And he's an underrated piece of this Laker roster. Just hasn't been available. He's hurt most of last year, hurt for almost entirely this season, playing just his 8th game.
Gives him defensive capability up the floor with size, which is not something they really have if Jared Vanderbilt's not available to him.
When you think of the line, as James drills a three, that even if the Lakers have a smaller line, they got guys with tremendous wingspans, including Vanderbilt. Collins tried to finish there and couldn't. He's still down. Gets helped up from an official. He's in transition. Catches another alley-oop and dunks it.
Yeah, with spectacular effort by John Collins. Need to get his hands on that pass. It was so high up by the top of the square, but when he fell, took himself out of the play, the Lakers were off to the races, and they're a very selective team about running.
A 6 of 6 from the floor. Almost all of those made shots on alley-oop dunks. Collins turns it over. Here's James, who has 8 assists now after that last helper. That lob thrown out of bounds. Got a handful of turnovers, though J.J. Redick thought that was deflected, so he's going to challenge that ruling. He didn't even look to the bench at all. He saw it himself and said, I'm going to challenge that back in a moment.
The Lakers have called timeout to challenge the ruling of out of bounds awarded to Utah.
So the Lakers challenging the call on the floor that it was off LeBron James and not deflected by Kessler. It did not look like Kessler touched that.
Actually, Filipowski,
Filipowski,
I
sorry.
believe, but you're right. It doesn't look like the ball really changed. Might be the best look at it right here.
After review,
that's over his fingers.
The ball is last touched by LeBron James. Therefore, the challenge is unsuccessful. Play will resume with Utah ball on the baseline. The game clock will be reset to 44.7 seconds. Since the challenge is unsuccessful, the Lakers will be charged a timeout, and they have no challenges remaining for the rest of the game.
Yeah. JJ just did that himself, too. He didn't even look back at the bench. He thought it was deflected.
And he's laughing about that because the guys behind the bench are saying, hey, man, check it over here next time. I think JJ just looked at it like, I can't take it home with me. I might as well use it.
That's the 7th turnover by James. He also has 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 22 points. Now a Utah turnover. Over and back. Will Hardy's out of challenges even if his players want him to challenge. They don't have one. Hardy used 2, was successful in the first one, giving him a second one.
And now the Lakers, they're going to get a very small sample here with Luka before the All-Star break, and then he's got to sprint to the finish with fresh legs. It's one of the benefits of having an injury actually for an extended period of time. You do feel fresh and energized when you come back for that sprint and then through the playoffs.
George with the layup after the miss by James from 3. 2-second difference in the game in shot clocks. The man defending LeBron James played with James's son at USC last year, Isaiah Collier. Vincent with 4 to shoot. Tries the 3 as the buzzer was about to finish. And that ends the third quarter. The Lakers take a 25-point lead to the 4th.
Lakers fans, it's time for the MGM Rewards Big Shot Jackpot. One lucky fan is about to shoot a half-court shot for a chance to win our progressive jackpot. Here are the rules. You get one attempt to make a shot from half court. You can shoot the ball any way you like, but both of your feet must be behind the line when you let go. All right, let's find out how much our contestant is shooting for.
Okay, Laker fans, I'm here with Sawyer. And tonight, the progressive jackpot, it's not at 80, it's not at 90, it's at $100,000. Sawyer, are you ready to take the big shot? Let's do it. Fans, let's get loud for Sawyer. Let's take down the lights. And fans, let's make some noise. Sawyer, it's okay, it's okay. You had us on the edge of our seat. We're going to give you another chance to win, but this time it's going to be for the three-point line. If you make it from here for the two-night stay at the MGM Resort Party, fans, let's show Sawyer some more love. Come on, let's make some noise for him. Thank you for playing tonight's Big Shot Jackpot presented by MGM. Fans, for more details on how you can enjoy the best resorts with the best rewards, visit mgmrewards.com.
NBA Monday presented by State Farm. NBA All-Star Weekend begins Friday in San Francisco with the celebrity game on ESPN. Barry Bonds and Jerry Rice are the head coaches. Our coverage begins from Oakland Arena at 7 Eastern Time. All the stars are out tonight. Ticket prices skyrocketed. Reportedly went up 500% as the day went on from when Luka Dončić was upgraded from questionable to probable. There's James downhill, missed the shot, got it back, and scores. He's got 24. Dončić with 14. We don't know if we'll see Luka again with this 27-point lead. 24 minutes played for Dončić in his Laker debut. Kessler collides with James. They're going to call a blocking foul on LeBron.
And I think if the game had stayed closer, I think the plan probably would have been for Luka to be at about 20 to 22 minutes heading into the fourth quarter in case you needed to finish with a particular lineup. Get him 6-7 minutes there, and there's your 28 to 30, which is what I think they want him to be at. The fact that he's already at 24 in a 25-point game, I think it's unlikely we would see Luka again.
First game for him since December 25th. Traded just over a week ago with Markieff Morris and Maxi Kleber, who's out with an injury. James will go to the bench. Anthony Davis, Max Christie, a first-round pick, sent to Dallas. Utah was involved in that trade, needed a 13 to make it happen. Kessler gets the free throw. Utah had beaten Golden State. Orlando sent a game against Phoenix to overtime all in the last week, but get hammered here tonight.
Yeah, two franchises in totally different stages. Lakers very much in a win now mode. Now essentially took care of the future as well. Whereas Utah, it's all about player development at this point, and you do have a mixture of some veteran guys in there that are good players. So this is the balancing act that Will Hardy has every single night, which is not easy.
Well, James shaken up, just stretching perhaps after him playing only about a minute here in the fourth. Check in with George.
Dave.
Go ahead, George.
Dave, legs. Sorry, my mic wasn't on. I was watching LeBron as he walked off the floor. He went right up to his trainer, Mike Mancias, and was grabbing kind of his midsection a little bit after that collision with Walker Kessler, and went back to the locker room, as you saw in that area. So I'll keep an eye on what's going on there, but that's what I observed as he walked towards the bench.
He's been battling an ankle issue throughout the year. It's been sore off and on. He didn't play on Saturday. Obviously, that's not the problem here. Lakers play one more game before the All-Star break. Wednesday at Salt Lake, and then James will be in the All-Star game for a record 21st time. He's on Team Shaq, and he'll be teammates with Anthony Davis. Turnaround jumper, Hachimura, no good. Collier rebounds. Pull up three by Keontae George, not close. Ball batted around. Juzang has it. George will try again. Same spot, same result. Kessler offensive rebound, and he's fouled. He's got 11 points and 11 rebounds in this game.
You mentioned those monster rebounding numbers he's been putting up. And Utah fourth overall in rebound percentage. It's one of the strengths of their team. Not a great shooting team leads to opportunities like that on the offensive glass, but you see another 12 rebounds tonight for Walker Kessler. And he has averaged 17 rebounds a game in February, in addition to almost 13 points.
You were touching earlier on the different stages of where these two franchises are. For Utah, a team that's used to winning. They were in the playoffs 6 straight years, but now it's 3 consecutive seasons where they've missed it. They're in this rebuilding phase, but they also have a centerpiece with Lauri Markkanen, who's still a young guy. He's going to be here. He signed a contract. But a lot of faces that I think there's uncertainties going forward as to whether a lot of these guys currently in the roster are going to be here.
No doubt. They've got 3 guys, that have another year in their contract that will free up potentially $70 million of cap space. I mentioned earlier all of the first-round picks that they have. Markkanen is re-signed, and this is a guy that averaged over 20 points a game the last 2 seasons. He's at 19 this year. But now they're very much in flux about what they want to do, who they want to keep. A lot of nights, these are guys really auditioning for a place in the franchise going forward.
That was a terrible alley-oop attempt by George, thrown way over the head of a teammate out of bounds. Cody Williams, they had several first-round picks, but Cody Williams, who was the highest, number 10 overall. He's struggled when he's been on the floor, but he's also battled injury. Played in just 27 games this year and averaging about 4 points per game. 21 points now for Rui Hachimura. He's the second leading scorer for the Lakers in this game.
He scored over 24 out of his last 5 games. He's at 19 again tonight, and he just has become incredibly lethal from that 18-foot area.
Corner 3, Vincent got it. Vincent with his second, make that third three-pointer, and he's got 11 points. His confidence is back. Struggled last year, was 3 of 28 from 3. Around 35% this year. Steal by Reeves. Fakes the lob and takes it himself for the layup. And out by Utah.
Tough decision for a defender. You see Austin Reeves taking advantage of it. If you commit to the ball handler, you get a lob over your head. If you don't, it's 2 easy ones for Austin Reeves.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. This This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Not goodies, not goodies, not goodies, not my goodies.
Taking shots, so I came out with a drink. Let up a bit at me. They still feeling in my jeans. You can tell who I am from the back, cause they just wanna know who I'm. Just so they can run and tell it. It's just a rap. They go.
Laker girls.
Hi, I'm Scott Van Pelt. We're getting set for Sports Center here in the nation's capital. We'll have live reaction to Luka's Laker debut. We'll hear from J.J. Redick. Also highlights of a busy night in the NBA. Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and the Warriors beat the Bucks in Milwaukee. The Cavs get the best of Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. Stand for Steve here with the Bad Beats. We'll see you when this game is over. Back to L.A. Fashion Lake.
All right, Scott, Lakers by 30. They've led by as many as 34 in this game. It appears Luka Dončić's debut is complete. Just under 24 minutes played, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Has not played here in the fourth quarter.
And the shooting was really what wasn't there. Like 1 for 7 from 3, or he has a much bigger offensive night as Austin Reeves. Shows you a little what he's got with the handle. Tremendous head fake, get the defender in the air and play through it for and one.
21 points for Austin Reeves after a 45-point game Saturday. James back on the Laker bench. George mentioned earlier was stretching out after that collision with Kessler.
Austin Reeves now 47 for 48 from the line in the last 5 games.
He's taken his game to another level this year. Career high in scoring. Also a 6 assists per game guy this year. Markkanen can't put it home. Reeves with the rebound. Reeves has 8 rebounds tonight, as well as 22 points. Here's Finney-Smith, short on the 3. Juzang swishes that 3-pointer through the net. He's got 3 triples in the game.
Yeah, he can do that. Got it. 40% on the year from three. That's what he's out there to do. Space the floor, catch and shoot, quick release.
Lex, based on what you saw tonight, again, I get it's just a snapshot. Was there anything in the 23 minutes that Luka played, and about 16 minutes of those were with James, that surprised you? Or was it what you expected in general with the two of them on the floor together?
It was what I expected. It was just a small taste of it, but I saw opportunities in each half where they were able to run action on one side of the floor with one of these elite players, draw defenders to that side of the floor, reverse it to the other side, and then have much more space to operate on the opposite side for one of those two guys. That is really where this can become very difficult to defend the more they find that rhythm. And then you mix Austin Reeves into that as well when he's out there. So I did see some of that action, and J.J. Redick was talking about that before the game. That's where his mind starts spinning of the opportunities and possibilities of what you can do offensively.
You have 31 games left after tonight to continue to figure out how much you play the two guys together. How much do you stagger them? And the officials are at the monitor after the made basket by Collins. Looking to see if the personal foul was actually a flagrant foul on the closeout. A quick look.
After review, Jason closes out recklessly, which causes the shooter to land on his foot. There's a high potential for injury here. Therefore, the play's been upgraded to a flagrant foul, penalty 1. Since the basket was successful, we'll get 2 free throws to make 1 shot, and Utah will retain possession of the ball with 24 on the shot clock.
Trey Jemison's first minute of the game, and he commits a flagrant foul.
Yeah, and the reason they use the word recklessly, you can see his right leg just swings forward and just completely eats up the landing area for John Collins. As a shooter, I can tell you this was one of the rules when this went into effect. I was heavily in favor of protect that landing space for shooters. And Jefferson's a little bit surprised by that. Certainly nothing intentional there, but you just saw his body going forward to such an extent. John Collins had nowhere to come down.
Just his 7th game as a Laker on a 2-way contract, his 2nd season out of UAB. Offensive foul on Collins on the screen. Turnover by Utah. 4 personal fouls on Collins, the 8-year pro, in 2nd season in Utah. They're 6 years with the Hawks. This is going to be 6 straight wins and 10 out of 11 for the Lakers. Make the case there isn't a team playing any better right now in the NBA than the LA Lakers.
When you look at all the metrics and the way they've changed over the last month at least, or a little bit longer in some cases, but over the last 15 games, this is the 6th rated defensive team in the NBA, and that was their big issue at the start of the year. They don't take a lot of threes. They don't play particularly fast. Their defense had to significantly improve, and it has to give them a chance to go on a run like they're currently on.
And it will be interesting, given that Anthony Davis is such a good defensive player, how that will change for the Lakers, how they make up for not having that with Davis no longer here.
It's going to be different. They a lot of times can run their offense through Anthony Davis to create these matchup problems. A 6'11" ability to face up, great mid-range shooter, dominant on the offensive glass, and then the amount of mistakes he would make up for defensively with his rim protection and range and switchability down there. So it's going to have a much different vibe and different feel to what they do in close games offensively, and then some of the lineups you'll see defensively with really not a lot of depth at the center position.
Because you do wonder about LeBron James, the more he plays at that age, you get into the playoffs, what kind of toll that could take, not having Davis to help there defensively.
Very true there, but it also adding Luka Dončić takes a lot of pressure and wear and tear off of him offensively as well, in terms of having to handle the ball, his usage, and creating for others. So he will benefit there, but you're right, defensively, that's a lot to make up for with what Anthony Davis brings to the table. He's a perennial defensive player of the year or all defensive team candidate.
And when Dallas and Nico Harrison made the trade, that's one of the reasons they did it. They felt that they were not good enough defensively, even though they made it to the finals last year with that group. And so they targeted Anthony Davis. They did not open it up to all these other teams. They said, that's the guy we want to be the centerpiece of our team.
That's the argument they made. But I think one area that they were short-sighted in, you look at what Luka Dončić has done in the postseason in his career, and the way he shows up in those big moments, series he's gotten his team through, games he's won practically single-handedly. It feels like some nights he shows up when the lights are bright. That's innate. I don't think you're born. I don't think you get that later in your career. I think you're born with that. Luka has it, and that's what you really wonder how you give up on something like that at 25.
Again, you look at the scoring average. Along with the assists, he accounts for 49 points per game. That is the most in NBA history. And he's not even 26 years old yet. He'll turn 26 on February 28th. 4.5 to go. Lakers 124, Utah 95. These teams will meet again Wednesday in Salt Lake. Juzen gets the bounce. And he's got 11 off the bench. Lakers will stay in the 3 spot in the West, tied with Denver, and 2 back of Memphis for the number 2 seed. How about Jordan Goodwin? The 2 games he's played over the last 3 days for the Lakers, 10 points Saturday, 17 in this game to go with 7 rebounds in 17 minutes. He was a player that J.J. Redick kept mentioning. We were talking in pregame about the rotation. He kept bringing up Jordan Goodwin.
He got a little bit of a sparkle in his eye when his name came up. You could just see in JJ's demeanor and the way he talked about him, how impressed he has been. And certainly we have been getting to be here now for 2 games in a row and watch him.
He's bounced around. He has played in 121 NBA games prior to his stint here with 3 teams, Memphis, Phoenix, and Washington. So his 4th NBA season out of St. Louis. 11 fourth-quarter points here.
You know, you mentioned some of the numbers and metrics with LeBron and Luka. You know, LeBron James this year 4th in the league in points actually created off of his assists, meaning 2s and 3s. He's 4th in the league. Last year, Luka in a full season was 3rd in the league. So that's what you've now combined and the number of ways that they have to beat you.
James with 8 assists in this game to go with 24 points in 29 minutes played. Filipowski in transition gives it up. Juzang challenged the foul on Jamison. 2:57 to go in this one. Lakers on their way to their 6th straight win.
Lakers fans, right now it is time to find tonight's Paul Jacobs fan of the game. Tonight's fan of the game will win a $100 gift card brought to you by Paul Jacobs, an official sponsor of the Lakers. We're searching the crowd now, Lakers fans, so show us what you got. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Congratulations, you are tonight's Paul Jacobs fan.
A night to remember in Los Angeles, one of the most anticipated debuts in NBA history. Luka Dončić's first game as a Laker. Number 77 shirts worn by everybody in the building. Pre-game, Dončić taking the floor. And look at all the people by the court an hour before the game watching Luka warm up. He was introduced last in the starting lineups tonight, and this was his first basket, a three-pointer. Finished with 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in 23 minutes.
And normally that kind of pregame activity is reserved for Steph Curry, right? That kind of look at the pregame warm-up. Luka got that treatment tonight. You see LeBron and Luka, they're having a laugh on the bench, probably some part, saying to themselves, can you believe they're actually letting us play together? This is incredible to watch and to think about what the possibilities are and what the future for this team is going to be.
And what are those possibilities short term? 2025.
Oklahoma City has proven to be the best team in the Western Conference. That is the measuring stick right now, and their defense is the main reason for that. So let's see what happens when the Lakers now, with this new look, go up against elite defensive teams, elite teams later in the season. That's when you'll get the real test. But Dave, I think now, for me, I look at them as a more realistic threat to do damage in the Western Conference. And a lot of that has to do with the track record of Luka Dončić in the postseason.
You look at the last 3 years as Filipowski hits the three, following the Markieff Morris three. Markieff Morris played with the Lakers a few years ago, now back, part of the Luka trade. They went to the conference finals, beat Phoenix 3 years ago. Then they missed the playoffs 2 years ago. Last year, went to the NBA finals, lost to the Celtics. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt and Filipowski both slow to get up. Vanderbilt hobbling a little bit down the court. Keep an eye on that. Trying to walk it off. Got a Laker foul.
You know, that's the thing that, was still ringing in my head for several days after the trade. It's not as if Luka Dončić hasn't had postseason success. He went to a conference final and an NBA final by the age of 24, which is what he was last year when the finals took place. And he lost last year in the finals to inarguably the best team in the NBA in the Boston Celtics. So he's had postseason success. Regular season success wasn't ever as great in Dallas as it probably needed to be to make a significant run. But he's still got a team there. And you just look at what he's built for and the way he reacts to those pressure situations. The Lakers are going to be easily the most interesting team in the Western Conference over the remainder of the regular season.
Because you got Oklahoma City at the top with a healthy lead, 8 games over everybody else. And then you have this group of teams from 2 through 5, all separated by 2 games. And you have a bunch of teams 6 to 11 separated by 2 games. So the final 30 games or so of the regular season in both conferences, but I think more eyeballs will be on the West just because of some of the big names like Steph Curry and obviously Luka and LeBron James.
Well, I'll put it this way. Right now, as I sit here, I wouldn't bet on the Lakers to make the finals, but I would say I'd be less surprised at them running through the Western Conference the way they're currently constructed than they were before the trade. Because that's the impact that I think Luka has.
What about if Dallas is healthy? And we don't know that because Davis is out right now, Lively's out, Gaffer got hurt tonight.
Again, they're not going to have as much time because of the Davis injury to really put a body of work together to judge them. But look, they're going to be a very good team. For all the reasons I mentioned before, Anthony Davis is going to impact both ends of the floor. You've still got Kyrie, role players that went to the finals a year ago. You added Klay Thompson. So the Dallas Mavericks are still a very good team. But do they have that extra factor? That's what they now see playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I said it on Saturday. As fans, all you can hope for is maybe you get somehow a Dallas-LA first-round matchup to see what that would ultimately look like.
They still play twice, including a game late in the season in Dallas on ESPN. Filipowski completes the three-point play. So the Lakers will improve to 32-19 and 19-6 at home. This will be their 6th straight win, matching their longest of the season. They've won 10 of 11 They're 19-7 over their last 26, and it's hard to argue that anybody's playing better in the league right now than these Lakers.
And the defensive numbers I mentioned, that's a big part of this. Anthony Davis, obviously an enormous piece for them defensively. Those numbers started to turn before the trade. Anthony Davis helped to trigger this turnaround defensively. So those are important numbers to watch now going forward with Luka and a different look and smaller lineups at times, and see if those defensive numbers hold.
With Jordan Goodwin for the second time, he just hurt himself too. Second time he took off his mask, having an issue with it, threw it to the sideline. Then he had an awkward landing, but looks to be okay as he pops up. It looked worse right when it happened, but already dealing with a facial injury. That's why he's been wearing a mask the last few games. Lakers will be in Utah Wednesday to wrap up the pre-All-Star break schedule. LeBron James will play in his 21st All-Star game this weekend in the Bay Area. Luka Dončić will get a chance at some extra rest before the Lakers play Charlotte after the break here at Crypto.com Arena. Shake Milton, another acquisition by the Lakers before the deadline in a trade with Brooklyn. Dribble it out here and take a shot clock violation. 8.3 remaining, 8.6 rather. A historic night here in Los Angeles. Immediately, just because of the name and what Luka Dončić has done already, he immediately joins the pantheon of great Lakers, and it feels like the possibilities for this year and beyond are endless with his talent and teamed with LeBron James. All of those possibilities were on display as the Lakers tie their second largest point total of the season with 132 in Toronto, Utah. Dončić in 23 minutes, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Did struggle with his shot, 1 of 7 from 3, but in fairness has not played in 6 weeks. First game since Christmas Day when he injured that left calf. LeBron James at 24 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Rui Hachimura had another big game, 21 points. That's his 5th 20-point game during this 6-game win streak. And George is with Luka.
Thanks, Dave. Luka, lots of anticipation and fanfare for your debut here with the Lakers. How did it feel to play in a Laker uniform?
Special, man. The way they received me, everybody, teammates, front office, everybody here. I heard a lot of noise when I was introduced, so I really appreciate it. It was a special moment.
What was the message from JJ, LeBron, and your teammates to you today?
Be you. Simple. Be you.
And we saw that Dirk Nowitzki was in the house here to support you today. What does that mean to have him here?
It means a lot. Great friend, great mentor. So it really means a lot that he was able to show up here. I'll see him now, but it really means a lot.
And then lastly, I know you guys still have to get comfortable with each other. Certainly, it's only your first game. But how dangerous can this team be?
Very dangerous. I think the ball was moving very well on offensive end. I think we can lock down a lot of players. So I was just happy to be on the court again.
Luka, we were happy to see you. Congratulations. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
All right, Dave, back to you.
It's been a long time since Christmas that we saw Luka Dončić play basketball, and for the first time tonight, we see him play basketball as a Laker. Scott Van Pelt will have that and so much more coming up next year on ESPN. For Tim Legler, George Sedano, Dave Fash saying so long from LA, SVP and Sports Center.